So what's Appalachian Power plan to do, or what is your response to the PSC?
Well, we think this order is really a positive step because we think it'll allow us to improve reliability for our customers in West Virginia. So we have already gotten to work on preparing this proposal that we're supposed to submit to the Public Service Commission. We're already at work on it. We think it's going to be a good thing because we will be able to go to a cycle trim, basically clearing right-of-way on a calendar basis, like every 4 years. And we think that's going to improve reliability for our customers.
Jeri, what do we do now? You're not on a cycle now, or not on a regular basis now?
No, we're not. We're not on exactly that kind of a trimming cycle right now. Instead, what we do is look at the areas that need trimmed most. And so we prioritize the areas that need trimmed, and we do it that way. And that is a less expensive way to take care of your right-of-way, but we believe the cycle trim is a more effective way.
Jeri, this is my impression of how this debate has gone and now where it is going, and why you say it's a positive thing, which I agree that it is that historically the power is knocked out. We have a big storm, and then everybody says, well, the lines aren't kept clear, and then the power companies say, we do the best we can, and if you want to clear the lines, that's increased maintenance, that increased cost, therefore the rates are going to go up. And we have this debate all the time. Now the PSC has come back and to some degree has taken the weight off you, because the PSC has said, what's your plan? Meaning they've told you to come back with a plan, and you guys are going to have a plan, but of course that's going to cost more money. So now, but you can say, well, the PSC told us to give you a plan. Here's the plan. And here's what's going to cost. Is that a fair assessment?
I think that's a pretty fair assessment. The order does require us to include a plan for how we'll recover the costs. And that's important because if you don't have a method to recover the costs, you're really limited in what you can do. So we'll propose a plan of action, and we'll detail how much that plan will cost.
Jeri Matheney is with us from Appalachian Power Company. Can you, and I know you guys have looked at this a lot, can you do it? Can you maintain the lines better than they're being maintained now at an additional cost, but not a prohibitive cost, something that people aren't going to squawk about?
Yes, I think we can do that. Yes, it will cost more at first, and we believe it will not be much more expensive than today in the long run. But at first, as we first implement this 4-year cycle, it will cost more. But I do think it's important to point out that although the program will cost more, we don't know the effect on rates at this point because we haven't detailed those costs yet. And even more important, there are fluctuating costs built into rates all the time. Fuel is one of the biggest part of what you pay for power.
Right.
And that you've seen that going up in the past few years, but it's not going up now. It's much more stable than it was. So we think that is a good thing because perhaps now is a better time to start looking at reliability when we don't have increasing fuel costs.
Right. Coal prices are depressed. Natural gas prices are way down. There's been some switch to natural gas, so it just isn't. I mean, it's not spiraling like it was a couple years ago.
Exactly.
So yeah, the timing might be pretty good. Do you know, and this is offhand, do you know what the average residential customer is paying now per month? What's the number you guys use? Do you know?
It's 9.7 cents a kilowatt hour. So if you use 1,000 kilowatt hours a month, that's about $97.
Okay, so about $100 a month. And again, you haven't run the numbers yet, and you probably would be reluctant to speak to this. But what do you think? What do you think you're talking about? Another $1 a month, $5 a month?
Definitely. I think your first estimate is closer. But I also think, like I said, we don't know the effect on rates because with fuel going down, that might give us room to increase the spend on right-of-way maintenance without changing rates. It's way too soon for us to know. It's important to think about when 2/3 of your electric bill is for the generation costs and only 1/3 is even for everything to do with distribution, including right-of-way trimming. You can see it's a smaller part of your cost, so it won't be as affected as when
Right.
fuel goes up.
Do you believe, Jeri, that since this originated with the PSC and after the derecho, and you guys have been talking about this, do you think this will definitely lead to improved line maintenance in the state?
What we'll see is when you have a derecho or when you have a Sandy, you'll still have outages.
Sure.
There's just no way around that. As we said before, those outages were caused by large trees falling from outside the right-of-way. But in other situations, like your average thunderstorm, a wet snow like southern West Virginia got last week, that's where we'll see a difference. Because when you have a case where branches fall onto a line or are weighed down and touch a line, that's what we're trying to prevent by trimming trees. The branches or the small trees, things that are within that right-of-way, that's what we can affect. So it's not going to save us when it comes to an enormous storm like a derecho or a superstorm Sandy, but it will make everyday reliability better.